let's have a second look on the preservation evoker in the raid. Why second? Because I forgot to press recording, so I'm doing it the second time. So in this guide I will go through the stats, talents, the healing rotation priority, whatever you want to call it, and sum it up, go after the cooldowns, and on the end a little bit of the damage talk. So let's start with the stats. What is most important in the raid? It's pump mastery. Absolutely priority. You need lots of mastery. So everything from the gear, just taking something with mastery. Definitely you want to get 5,000 as soon as possible, and don't go over 6,000 because that's very diminishing, and it's just stat cap. It's not really worth it to go past 6,000, but 5,000 as soon as possible. From the other stats, you want to go for critical and versatility. They should be balanced. Both of them are good, and it's not like one of them is much better than others. And the lowest priority is haste, but you still should have some, at least 1,000. You don't go like with some healers like Shaman, you want 0 mastery. You don't want 0 haste. With the Lizard, just is the lowest priority. We are talking about blasting and pumping mastery in the raid. We need to think about that. It's healing more. You need to have more percentage of health than targets you are healing. Don't check my stats, this is just for M+, what I have. I still have too much mastery for M+. So, no, this is not how you should have mastery in raid. So that means you want to keep yourself quite full health as often as possible, or as long as possible. That means when it's heavy damage, or AoE damage rather, always use defensives, always you need to think about. There was no other healer that was more important to use defensives than on Evoker. So definitely Obsidian Scales, Renewing Blaze is absolutely amazing to just when it's heavy damage on, but it's, you know, it's not in 1 second explosion, but the damage is during 10 seconds. This is absolutely crucial to pop it. That will keep you, after a few seconds, that will keep you on full health, and you can just blast with your mastery to have a healing increase from your mastery. So really think about that. At you first, even it's good to use Hellstone, it's good to use refreshing healing potion after some explosion, AoE explosion, so you absolutely fastest man with the full health there, obviously not tanks, because they shouldn't be on lower health, they should be always full. So really focus on defensives when you're healing Evokers, because it's really important to have more health than others to use that mastery bonus healing. From the talents, there is not so many things to change here. What you should note here, we are no longer playing energy loop, so we are not getting our mana back on this integrate, so that's why we are also missing the shiny talents over here. Don't forget to use Source of Magic on some friendly healer, it's giving you mana, and when you are low, it's giving you loads of healing, but usually you should have more health than others as the Lizard. From the right tree, there's usually only options for Ouroboros, but I don't recommend to play that. I think you really need to master that talent to be good, and just don't bother. If you don't really need to minimax and be more first or something like that, you can survive easily without it and blast absolutely massive health per second. From the left, you have some options like for extra movement speed and some extra little damage. You can take here Sleeping Flames are quite nice to do some extra healing, so it's just for you. This is more defense and the movement speed for the raid, and you are giving double shields and stuff like that. It's really useful. Let's talk about healing. Well, it's obviously a healer, so we're talking about healing, about priority rotation, whatever, gameplay, whatever you want to call it. So, Evoker healing in raid, they are split usually between 2 phases, and first one is we are spreading echoes through echo or temporal anomaly. Second one, we are consuming that echoes for healing, and we are usually consuming by Dream Breath or Spirit Bloom. So the spreading echoes, focus, casting just echo. It's also echo that is spreading echo, so just don't confuse the names. all our essences we want to use on Echo, and essence burst for those 4 piece that is free cast. Yeah, we want that for Echos. To spread Echos, then we have Temporal Anomaly that is putting Echos to first 5 targets, but difference is the Echo from Temporal Anomaly is only 45% strength, 45% strength of the ability you are copying. The Echo from Echo have 105% copying strength, so the single target Echo is more than 50% more effective, but you are sparing just 1. But on the other side, Temporal Anomaly is costing a lot of mana, so we want to use that essence because that's usually when you are spending some other resources, that means it's not costing as much mana, and usually it's more effective because you are limited by Echos. Obviously, when you have time pressure and you need to heal a lot more, a lot faster, Temporal Anomaly is winning, but you should always try to spend as much and cast as much Echos as possible. So after we spread the Echos on the raid, few targets, doesn't matter how many targets have it. When we need to heal, we need to heal. And obviously it's priority to use our Empower ability. It's more priority to use it on cooldown than when whole raid is echoed. Because obviously that ability on its own is healing a lot. Like Dream's Breath, it's costing 11,000 mana, but it will heal more than 500,000 when you just cast it without some Echos. So obviously, don't prioritize spreading Echos over using when you have cooldown abilities. Prefer to spread Echos when you don't have ready that abilities. And what we want to consume Echos with? Dream's Breath. When we have Calls of Viscera buff, that means we use Verdant Embrace. We have 40% increased healing from Dream's Breath. Always use Dream's Breath when you have buff up, and you should always have buff up. So focus on Dream's Breath. If you don't have buff because you were spreading Echos too long or just it disappear or something like that, then if you don't have a lot of Echos, still use Dream Breath because it's hitting 1 more target. But if you have a lot of Echos, at least 10 plus, then you Spirit Bloom. Why? Because when you calculate it, when you spread it, these abilities to Echos, it counts how much that ability is healing per 1 target. Dream's Breath is healing 1,700. Spirit Bloom is healing 77, but is 40% plus with the 2-set bonus, and that means is 108 and some little out of that. So it's 108,000 healing. So that means is healing a little bit more per single target, and you care about single target because that's healing that will be spread through Echos, not whole ability together, just how much it healed on that single target. So we have 10 plus Echos and no Call of Viscera buff or Dream's Breath, you are casting Spirit Bloom. If you have buff, you are casting Dream's Breath, or if you don't have almost no Echo, then you're casting Dream's Breath. So we spread the Echos, we consume the Echos. Some fillers with our healing is cast our Verdant Breath. It's nice to cast it on cooldown, but we don't want to spend unnecessary Echos for that. So when you don't have any Echos, use Verdant Breath when it's ready. It's cheap heal, it's strong heal. We should prioritize to click it on ourselves for 2 reasons. First reason is mastery. We want to have more health than others, so our master is healing. Second reason is you don't know where the target is standing, so you can just zoom somewhere where is AoE on the ground or something like that, and it can be dangerous or fight through some AoE on the ground. So if you're not sure if the target is standing on good location, just another reason to click on yourself. Obviously, if your health is full and you are sure the target is in a safe position, just click on other targets. Is definitely better to not use it on overheal. And also reversion, when we don't have Echos, don't spread Echos on the reversion. We are not healing with the reversion anymore. Our priority is Dream's Breath and Spirit Bloom with the Echos. So if you don't have Echos, just cast. We only have one stack, so you consume Echos, jump on someone with Verdant Embrace or yourself, click the reversion, and then start spreading Echos again. What I also like to mention, between the healing, you should cast Firebite on the cooldown. Usually first rank is good enough for the empowerment. It just that's disappeared. Because we are getting stuck and we have 4 stacks, we have 2 free essence bursts to consume on our Echos. So even its damage is still very potent for healing because it's giving the guest attacks, and obviously it's quite strong damage for one single cast, one single click. So it's no problem, just squeeze it somewhere else. So spreading echoes and consuming them, it's still not enough because we have cooldowns. We can improve that. One cooldown, we need to talk a lot about it because it's stasis and you can do so many things with that. What do you want to store in stasis? It's storing your next 3 healing abilities, that is on shorter cooldowns than 1 minute or shorter. And you want to store as well the best abilities. You want to store Andazis, Dream Breath, Spirit Bloom, Temporal Anomaly. What you don't want to store is Reversion, Verdant Remembrance, and Echo. So I will show that's some 2 basic feeling, but if you squeeze there only these 3 abilities in whatever order, whatever number of them, it will be good stasis. And some work you can do, like 2 nice combos. This is quite old one. You will jump or whatever. You don't need to jump anywhere. You just use Verdant Remembrance. Then you stasis, Temporal Anomaly, Breath, and follow with Spirit Bloom. Obviously you can charge your breath to full if you want to heal faster. Stasis is remembering how much you charged. And when casting Spirit Bloom, always cast on full charge. Dream Breath is always healing the same, it's just change how fast it's healing. But Spirit Bloom always to full charge because you want to heal 4 targets, not 1 or 2. Sometimes you need to just heal 1, but yeah. It's healing for another 8 seconds, so I guess you should also. And before you use the stasis again, don't forget to jump, because the 40% buff will be consumed anyway. And you blast it again. So that's some classic combo. That is always good. And the second one is a little bit more specific. So from the start, you can prepare this one. You should prepare this one before you're pulling. Stasis don't have duration when you are charging. After you charge 3 spells, obviously it have duration. But before that, it's unlimited. So even 15 minutes before the pull, you can store spells into that. 1 or 2 spells, obviously. You cannot do 30 because then it's full charge and you have duration. So when you resurrect and you are going to eat food before an next pull, or just came to the boss, press it, press stasis, cast 1 Temporal Anomaly. You can store there 2 abilities or 1 ability, it's up to you. I usually store 1 spell, then I'm waiting for pull, and when it's pull like 6 seconds, then I'll cast second charge, Temporal Anomaly. I'll click on Feast or just whatever food you have to get that 20,000 mana back before the pull. So we are starting with the full mana, and then only 1 ability is missing from it. So you can change, wait however long you want, but not actually as long, because you cannot heal, because that's 1 spell is missing, so anything you will use will be copied. So if you need to heal something early after the pull, I know from Heroic Skarn there's big explosion, like 10 seconds in the pull. That's nice to put it there, for example. Then you cast the last one, that's the 1 Temporal Anomaly, and usually you have echoes from the second one you are casting before the pull, but maybe they disappeared. But that was 3 mana cost, so it's just profit. Then you blast Temporal Anomaly, that's another 3. So that means you have 20 or 25 if you just cast it soon enough. So 20 or 25 echoes. What do you want to do with that? With the 20 or 25 echoes? You want to follow up with the Verdant Remembrance. So this time, the special occasion we will use our echoes for the Verdant Embrace to spread, or rather connect everybody with Life Mint. That means they are sharing healing. And then you will follow it with Emerald Communion. That is strong, very strong single target, but the single target on you will be spread to everyone. So it's a really absolute massive huge combo. Like this training do me some God stacks. Jump it and instantly just button mash that. You want to cast it as soon as possible because it's just 4-second buff. And you can see the healing was shared. there was not so much because I hit some players with full health, I was full health and stuff like that. But in the raid, 3 million healing with one click, even more, you can do more, depends what is happening in the raid. So this is absolutely massive raid healing, but you need to have already echoes. Obviously you don't need to store echoes or like temporal anomalies in stasis. For that you can just do whatever you want, like do temporal anomaly cast, and between that you are just spreading echoes through essences, and then you are spending element commune. You don't need to do it with combination with stasis, but always try to have as many echoes as you can have when you're blasting a commune, so we can share it through liveband talent or rather connection. So the second cooldown we can't take is a commune, but we talk just about it. So you always want to use it with that combo. Of course you can use it for yourself, but it's much better when you have at least some echoes and some connections through Lifebind, because it's a really good potential for healing to use that combo. Then we go Dreamflight. I would call it our little raid cooldown. Nothing to explain there. You need some AoE healing. It's hitting everybody that is part. Try to use it when ready stack, obviously, because you want to heal all of them. And just click it, fly by, and just don't die. When you land, be sure you are landing on some secure location, not in some tank frontal from the boss. So be sure to survive when you finish that ability. So click it, heal it, survive. That's it. But then we have Remind. That's our big brother of raid healing. And that ability is the best raid healing cooldown ever. Maybe not ever, but right now, this DLC, this season is definitely the best raid healing cooldown. And what it's doing is healing 50% raid god over last 5 seconds. So 50% of that damage will be healed, and plus some 20,000. So, or there is like at least, okay, so 50% exactly. It's not like 50% and 20,000. It's at least 20,000. But this 20,000 is nothing. And don't forget it, you need to use it after damage. Not like some, you don't think like, click it now because it will be healing in the next 5 seconds and that damage needs to be healed. No. Wait for damage, even when there is like dot damage or that damage is over 10 seconds, just wait for 5 seconds of that damage and then just blast it. And it will heal loads, millions and millions healing, and maybe if you don't have millions, then you have millions over healing. So, because this ability is absolutely massive health per second when you have a charge. So just think about it. When ready to go damage, count 5 seconds. You don't really need to get. Is ready damage? Wait a bit, wait a few seconds, then blast it, and just enjoy the healing show. And we have last cooldown. It's the little tiny cooldown, Tibor the Scales. It's faster. It's saving you 3 seconds from the Emperor cast. So we usually want to save it when there's required healing burst, to just save 3 seconds there. If not, just click here on cooldown. It's always nice, it'll save you some time, and it's costing no mana and it's off global cooldown, so there is no reason to not click it. On the end, it's damage talk. It's very simple. This season on Evoker, we are not using Disintegrate. We are not using it even a single time because it's not charging our mana, and we are using our essences for Echo. So for damage, Dream Bread on cooldown, we want that. We want for healing, and if you have some more extra time or mana, Living Flames. That's it. Nothing else. This is absolutely all our healing. Obviously, we can do Dream Bread. It's costing 0 mana, but it's 2 milli cooldown, so you will use it twice, and you are good. It's single targets. Yeah, it's decent. Maybe you just use it for movement speed or to get rid of some moving impact effect, things like that. So we just fire bread on the cooldown, follow with that Living Flames. Yeah, so anyway, if you want to check this guide in the text form, I wrote it down on my Discord, so check it under the video. Some information is just better to read in text, or maybe I just said it a little bit different than now in the video. And anyway, thank you for watching, think about subscribe, and goodbye.